Hi, Reed. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Dad?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Thanks. You too.
We've got a special episode.
We do, yeah.
Here we are at home the night before you go back to school.
Yep.
So nothing like planning ahead. So good on us. So do you want to describe what we have had planned for this particular episode, why it's special?
Sure. So today's the first day of 2023.
Right.
And so we said, hey, let's do something for marking, like a reflection on 2022. And kind of like, the idea was like the best and worst of it. But also, it just kind of turned into the notable of 2022.
Right. Because we're not about black and white. It's all gray.
Yeah.
Also, what I like about this is that most best of or picks and pans of the year are before Christmas. And we let 2022 finish.
Yeah.
We didn't want to leave anything out.
Yeah.
So this is a recap of 2022, our highlights or notable experiences or things, without leaving out any of the days. And we have special guests.
We do.
Yeah.
They're just sitting here quietly.
Yeah, kind of giggling. So, on my left is your mother, my beloved spouse, partner, Karyn, who is a big fan of our podcast.
Yeah.
You can say hi.
Hi.
Good.
I'm very excited to be here.
Good.
How are you, Mom?
I'm good.
Right. And on your right.
Is my sister, Anna, your daughter. Yeah. How are you, Anna?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
Okay.
They have feelings.
Right.
Lots of them.
Which is why we don't usually have their presence, but we refer to them a lot. And then we brought up this idea of this recap of 2022, and they said, "Can we be on it?" And we said, "Sure." Without
I think you said that would be fine.
Probably.
I think we actually said it would be fun.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are.
Yeah.
And they seem to be kind of nervous about recording and posterity of being on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're used to it.
Yeah. Been doing this for
Years.
Yeah. Plural.
Yep. So.
Or almost years, plural.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
More than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to go back and look at when we first recorded. I don't remember now. We're approaching a couple of years. Maybe?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll look that up.
Listeners, email us at dearmouthsounds@gmail.com to tell us when our first episode was.
Yeah.
Or we can just look it up because it's super easy.
All of our phones are recording right now. We can't use the Google to look stuff up right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we did. We put together a list of notable topics of that we could find some noteworthy examples of, and we've all got to see these, unlike our other 10 questions episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will lead, since we're the veterans of podcasting, and then everyone else can follow along. Okay. So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Then we'll go around.
Like reading the question or like?
Both.
Okay. I can go first.
Go for it.
I prepped the least out of everyone else. Everyone else has stuff written down. I don't have that. I just kind of thought about it for a second.
Right. But you kind of have a steel trap of a mind, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So.
Category 1.
Okay. So our first question was notable thing you saw on a screen. So the idea was to not say like favorite movie that you saw this year or something, just like anything on a screen. And I love movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But I think my favorite thing I saw on the screen was a TikTok series. So it's called Good Boy Ollie. He is this chocolate lab who's 8 years old, and he's been on my TikTok For You page a lot, and he's just a good boy dog, and he just makes my day every time I see him. So that's my favorite thing I saw on the screen.
Good
Well,
boy.
tell what happened. Just recently that you showed me. It was
Yeah,
so cute.
So Ollie does these things. So every weekend he gets to pick an activity to do from his activity jar. And so during December he had an advent calendar of
Of course.
activities. And
It's a Christian dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
I don't know. He doesn't state his religious beliefs
Uh-huh.
because he's a dog. But he got a baby brother for Christmas, and it was very cute.
A baby
And he-
dog brother. Okay.
And a puppy, and he got to name his brother by picking a name out of a jar, and he selected his potato toy instead. So they named the puppy Tato, and it's very cute. So it
That
makes me very happy.
seems worth watching.
Yeah. Gets you on TikTok, and then you never leave.
Right. I think I'll just, if you could just forward those to me once in a while. I think I've
Okay.
seen
They're on Instagram too.
Reels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Good first at bat, leading us off.
Nailed it.
All from memory. I was gonna say I was kind of conflicted about things, so I think I'm going with our New Year's Eve watching the first 5 episodes of Ted Lasso for like the 4th time. I think
At
that
least.
was,
New Year's. Yeah.
yeah.
That was New Year's Eve
What did I say?
and Christmas Eve.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, last night, New Year's Eve, we got to watch Ted Lasso, and I just thought just rewatching those all in a row.
Yeah.
Sitting there on the couch with you guys, that was my favorite. There's a few other things I liked, but I'm gonna go with Ted Lasso.
So it fit in right at the end.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't, if we would have done one of those like best of on November 17th or something, it
Right,
wouldn't have
missed
gotten.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
No good. Spotify's missing out.
Yep. Sorry, Spotify. Yep. Your turn.
Mine, so I didn't think I had one, but then as we were talking, and actually you were talking about waiting till all the way to the end of the year,
Yeah.
I was thinking about Christmas Eve and how we watched It's a Wonderful Life like we do every year. And I thought it was notable this year because I've always loved the scene when Mary is like without
Her life is a ruin.
Without George Bailey.
Without George Bailey, I forgot his name. That she's like this like miserly librarian leaving the
Yeah, homely.
library. And she's
old
all
maid.
homely with glasses. And now that I'm a librarian, I thought it was like this is the first time I've seen it as a librarian, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, the kinship with the
Yeah.
with the meek Mary who can't even handle being caressed by a man. She
Yeah.
passes out.
Well, he like
He
chases
kind
her.
of does
Yeah, it's
like
kind of
accost
insane.
her.
Yeah, it's
I think
It's
librarians
terrifying.
are hot, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure. With the glasses. And
Yeah,
everything.
uh-huh.
Cute little hat.
Yeah, so that felt notable.
Anna?
All right. I think that I am going to go with a TV series that has been big this year for me, Better Call Saul, which is Minnesota Sam's, my boyfriend Sam's
special friend Sam.
special friend Sam, and my show that we've been watching together. And it's the prequel to Breaking Bad, which I have not seen. And it is a really fun experience, not only because it's an amazing show and makes us both feel like English majors again, even post-grad English majors. But it's interesting to see him not only watching Better Call Saul for the second or third time, but also having seen Breaking Bad, and me seeing everything for the first time, not having seen Breaking Bad, and how those experiences kind of overlap. And it's an incredible show. And it's scary, and I don't normally like scary things, but I'm really bonded to all the characters.
We've just started it, and we really like it, but I don't think it's as scary as Breaking Bad.
We haven't gotten very far in though.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought it was going to be all happy-go-lucky, kind of, like just with some stressful moments. And then they get you attached, and then everything goes south.
Okay, well, we'll have to.
Well,
I
it's
don't want
prob-
to give anything away.
And it's brought up a lot of your past fears of gangs.
Yeah.
Gang members soliciting you.
Yeah, drug cartels are pretty much the worst case scenario in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, deep fear.
Yeah.
But
You should take some of my classes.
I don't think I'd like them.
Yeah, they're really good, in my biased opinion.
All right.
Okay, good. We're doing really well. Okay, next category. Notably fun musical experience of the year. How about, Anna, you go first, and we'll keep going. Whoever was last for the last category goes first for the next one.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
And I'm really excited
Yeah.
to go first for this one because I was scared someone else was going to take it from me.
Yeah.
But my fun musical experience of the year was seeing Sammy Ray and the Friends in Salt Lake City, right between coming back from living in the Tetons in Wyoming and before going to move up to Bozeman. And Sammy Ray has become a very important musical person to me at this time of life. And so seeing her and telling us live that it's okay to be in transition and not know what's going to happen to you and that you should just be happy right before that other really big transition was amazing. And she's just really a stellar performer and musician.
Band.
That
was an amazing concert.
was amazing.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Reed.
Yeah. 3 of the 4 of us were there.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
What was yours, Reed?
So this summer, my friend Emma, who made a special guest appearance on this show,
Right? The
like
only other
a year,
guest
yeah,
appearance.
the only other special guest.
Aw, we loved you, Emma.
Hi, Emma. Yeah, so she came and visited Ogden this summer, and we went just because that was fun and we hadn't seen each other over the summer, and then also it lined up perfectly that one of her favorite musicians, Lucy Dacus, was going to be playing at the Ogden Amphitheater. And I kind of knew their stuff a little bit, and so I was like happy to go along. And it was a great time, but there was a surprise to both of us. There's the opener, who is local natives, and then they were great. And then right in the middle, before Lucy Dacus came on, there was this artist called Noso, who had just released their first album, and like were up there all by themselves, just with a guitar and like a bunch of pre-recorded stuff, and like were just performing their stuff, and that was like, they're like a transmask artist, and like a lot of their songs are focused around that, and like it was really cool to be seeing like this undiscovered, well, at least to us, like person who had just released their debut album like a month before, and like also talking a lot about queer experiences, which isn't a very common song topic, and it was just really cool.
Here in Utah.
Here in Utah,
Yeah.
just as a surprise, just waiting for Lucy Dacus, and then they walk on, and we're like, "Oh, who's that?" Because we thought they were like checking sounds or something, and then they just started playing songs, and we were like, "Oh, this is fun."
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah,
I've forgotten about that, but now
yeah,
I remember.
that's good.
Yeah, that's how things go.
I didn't know about that. That's exciting to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. I had a few, but I think what I noted at the top of my list was, did I tell you I'm in a band?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We have a new EP out called Videos of Us in Handcuffs.
Substandards.band.
Yep. It's on Spotify
It's
and
on
all
Spotify.
your streaming services. But we played several things this summer. And in particular, well, there are several that were really good, but we got to play an amphitheater and people showed up that had never showed up to a thing of ours before and sat in real seats, and we were on a real stage with real sound, which we often have, but there was like a big stage and big sound. And I was playing grand piano.
It's really cool.
It was very cool. So that was my highlight musical experience.
Your doctor even came.
Yeah. Among others.
Yeah. And it was like a piano like that other famous people had played on.
I would like to think, and I don't
or
know
a
this for
stage
sure.
that other famous people had played on.
Yeah, like real touring musicians have played, and I would like to think, that's right. My friend Tim went to see 38 Special earlier, which is a big name. I think the Oak Ridge Boys have played on that stage. Anyway, Air Supply played on it. This is not a list I want to necessarily be affiliated with, but they're real musicians. But a few. Oh, sorry, Air Supply. If you're listening,
Notable listener, Oak Ridge Boys.
yeah. look
I'm
up
offended.
look up standards and substandards and tell us what you think. But I think I know Bruce Hornsby's played on that stage. And I would like to think he played that piano.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be really cool. It's a really nice piano.
Yeah.
So that was my highlight. And there was a standing ovation at the end.
Yeah.
That's true, right?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
true. And you played
We played an encore.
an encore, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like they were like, don't play past 8, and then Karyn, your singer, just looked at the people and were like,
More?
we're gonna keep playing, and they were like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my fun music. One of my fun, but highlight fun musical experience. What was yours?
There were a few that I wrote down. I definitely feel like going to musical concerts again has been one of my favorite things as we've been moving out of COVID. I really, really love going to concerts. But I think a very notable one, and it's one that I almost didn't go to, was seeing Brandi Carlile down in Salt Lake at a huge venue. Used to be the Delta Center, now it's something else. I don't know. But one of those big, big, big venues.
Right.
And we've been Brandi Carlile fans since she opened for Indigo Girls 15 years ago. I think about
Probably.
15 years ago. And so we've seen her at lots of little venues. And I kind of resent that she's gotten so big and now I have to share her with so many other people. But going to this concert after Brandi Carlile's become so big and famous and seeing how humble and grateful she is, recognizing what a privilege it is for her to be such a big star now, really made my mama heart happy. Like I just couldn't help but just feel so proud of her and really, really excited too, because she was up there on this big stage with the lights and the fog and all the stuff now. But she would give shout outs to the people who used to come and see her in the State Room or at Red Butte, and even mentioned a time way back when they got stuck because they were opening for someone else. Oh, I can't even remember. I think like Vienna Tong or one of those artists who she's way bigger than now. But that person got sick, so she and the twins were kind of stuck in Albuquerque, and they were like, what do? We need to make money. And so they knew they could come to Salt Lake and play 3 shows at the State Room. And having been at one of those. Like, it was just really fun to hear her telling that story to thousands and thousands of people and be one of the hundreds that was there. So that I'm really grateful I got to go, and I actually, got a ticket from someone else who couldn't go. So thanks, Madison.
Nice. I saw you wrote down the American Acoustic concert too.
Oh my gosh, that was so
We
good.
both went to, I thought that was, that's one of the best concerts I've been to.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You get to go first with our next topic, best animal encounter of 2022.
I've had far fewer than Anna in this last year, but my good animal encounter happened in the Tetons when we went up to visit Anna. We were just gotten into our campsite and we're like just unpacking everything, and I look up and I'm like, oh, there's a bear. And there's just a bear like tootling along, just how far from us? I'm terrible with distances.
It's like 100 yards away,
He was just walking along.
maybe 50 yards
Yeah,
away.
and I feel like I was one of the first people to see it because
Yeah.
it was like really quiet, and then all of a sudden people were like, oh wait, look, and then you could start hearing like dogs barking and it becoming a thing that there was a bear right there. And I was proud that I didn't feel nervous.
Yeah. And you saw it. I mean, you often are you've said you don't often see the thing that we see first.
Yeah, and I
Really?
saw it.
Yeah.
And it was before you had seen any.
It was, so I was pretty jealous to get that text of, we're going to wait to come and visit you. There's a bear. Dang it.
So that was fun.
What was yours, Anna?
Mine also happened in the Tetons. I had a very animal-filled summer. I was really, really lucky. And I think I've landed on my best animal encounter being when I was on a run in my backyard, which is Kelly, Wyoming, and has this beautiful view of the Tetons, like unlike any other, really. And there are all these just tiny little trails that I would run on. And then one day I was feeling really emotional about leaving the Tetons, and I was on this run. And I'm running through this meadow, and I look up and there's a papa moose just like staring at me, maybe 50 yards away. And then I like backed up because moose ended up scaring me more than bears after I'd seen a few bears. And so I backed up, and then behind him in the trees I saw a baby moose and a mama moose, and they were all there just in these pine trees. And I let them like go up the hill, and I knew I'd see them again because I knew where I was going, but I let them go up the hill, and then I kept going on the trail, and then was making a lot of noise coming up the trail. And then they were just in this beautiful meadow against the Tetons, and they all just watched me, and like this moose family just in their habitat completely, that I got to just stumble upon and feel connected to that place. Felt really good.
That's really great.
Thanks. It was really nice.
It's not a competition, by the way. I felt bad as Mom was bringing up.
No, I just knew what was potential,
Yeah,
what
there's so
Anna's
many.
potential was, which is because you've had such an incredible experience
That's
this year.
really cool. Animals are really cool.
Yeah.
Read?
I had less animal experiences,
Yeah.
especially wild animals. But like coming home for break is really fun because I get to see Gussie, my cat, in 3 dimensions again, and he's so cute in 3 dimensions.
He is a cute boy.
He's really cute. And it's really, I get to squeeze him, and he makes little sounds. And
That's pretty good.
so
That's really good.
I didn't see a beautiful moose family in beautiful Wyoming, but Gussie's just as good.
And I didn't get to hug Moose, and you get to hug Gussie.
Yeah, probably don't hug moose.
I was thinking of the bear and the Tetons that you saw, but I was flashing back to our trip to Oregon, and maybe, there's lots of Nina
Oh my gosh.
hopping through or jumping through or racing through whatever, but I think being on the beach in Oregon when we got her to the beach, and
That's
and
one of
she
the most
when,
joyful
when we
things.
were no one else was on the beach, and she just took off at Mach 2 and
Yeah,
ran up and down the beach.
chase seagulls.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next category is your worst fruit encounter of the year. This is kind of an oddball question. No other best of 2022 has this on it that I know of. Mine was probably just last month a ridiculously underripe banana that wasn't just underripe,
Oh
but
yeah.
but so mealy it was like the peel and the banana were like one and the same.
I just caught you trying to peel it.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
it wasn't working, and I was trying to like
Wow, it was
extract the sweat.
disgusting.
So it was like that was awful. I mean, there are worse things, but it wasn't just underripe. It was like a whole other. It was like wood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was-
that was my worst fruit encounter of the year.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, well, I got over it. I'm okay now.
It's good.
That might have been my worst one, watching you do that.
See that?
with that
Yeah.
banana. I didn't have a worst fruit encounter. I really
Oh.
can't think of any.
That's good. Good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have mine.
I experienced it with you, so I think I'm sharing yours.
Okay.
Mine's also a banana.
Ooh.
And it was found in a field ed backpack that we were cleaning out at the end of the season that probably had been there for a month plus. Opposite state of your banana. But,
Oh.
yeah, it was unbanana like in its just liquidness.
Gelatin.
Did it
Yeah.
stay contained in the peel?
Well, the kid had opened it,
Oh.
and so it was just everywhere in the backpack, and it smelled really, really bad. And we had to clean the backpack. I don't know, it was just horrible. And then the way that we picked up and it just like flapped around, I don't know. It was a terrible fruit experience.
Did it smell still like a banana?
Yes, yeah,
Like you identified it as a banana.
yes, definitely banana
What else is
scent,
I
and
don't know. Like
It's
Yeah.
rotten.
it's just really like sickly sweet, kind of like that. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We found a lot of really gross things in the backpacks, like leftover ham sandwiches that have been there for a long time. And I don't know. Kids are just disgusting.
Yeah.
well, and especially when they just get to leave.
They
the
just get to
stuff.
leave it, and we want them gone
Right.
when they're giving back their backpacks.
Yeah.
So we don't double check it.
That's
pretty bad.
even worse than mine.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Reed?
Well, I don't really have a lot of fruit at school. So I guess that's kind of the worst,
Oh.
because I don't have access to fruit. When I do, it's not. There's a lot of pineapples, which I can't eat, and like really underripe melons and mealy apples.
Mm.
Sometimes there's blueberries, which is good, or blackberries.
Why are pineapple always available at things? Like when you say pineapple in a dorm, like that
Yeah.
that rings true. Like why is
And
pineapple?
melons.
Yeah, what?
I don't know, but
It's weird.
it makes my face hurt. So
It doesn't seem like a real accessible fruit,
Right.
you know, in the Pacific Northwest, like year
I'm
round.
worried about why they're importing so many pineapple
Right.
to small liberal arts colleges.
Well, but anywhere, like if you go to any
You go to like a
breakfast
brunch.
bar
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's
at
a
a
good
conference, it's always pineapple and melon.
Yeah, underripe melon, pineapple, and some gross grapes.
oh, we don't have grapes.
Oh, if you see, yeah, that would be unsustainable.
I don't know. It's weird.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Reed.
Um,
Next category is favorite footwear of 2022.
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it was up there. This time last year, we went to REI and got me some new running shoes.
Yep.
And those lasted me all year.
Well, they lasted, yeah. They were worn
I'm not
out.
done.
Okay.
So I wore them consistently all year long. Summer, school time. Yeah. And now they are not really running shoes anymore because there's no real tread because I wore them a lot. And you can slide in and out of them really easily. But they still stay on your feet. So now those are being retired, and I have new running shoes, which are the same kind, but a different color.
Yeah.
So it's different.
So you must like them.
Yeah. So those encompassed all of my 2022.
You should get a sponsorship.
Yeah.
You can now have running shoes, and your old ones can be your slippers.
I have lots of shoes. I'm fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
And by lots of shoes, I mean 5.
3. Oh, wow. These are your. Have you named the kind of running shoes they are?
They're my Ultras,
Ultra Lone Peaks.
Lone Peak 40 or something. 6.
That's different.
I don't know. There's a number in there.
I was going to say 14, so.
Okay.
6, yeah. That's right.
Mine was newly found this year are Soft Star shoes. They're made in Philomath, Oregon.
His toddler shoes.
They're just-
Bowling shoes!
They look, well, they're better than all of those. They're like just a minimal Vibram sole with a leather footbed and leather uppers.
Listeners, if you can imagine like a Stranger Things type setting and them going bowling. Do they go bowling in that show?
I don't
Well,
remember.
In my head, it's like the Stranger Things characters going to a bowling counter, and these are the shoes that the person would pull down.
Except they're way wider.
Yeah.
They're
like,
wider than bowling
they're
shoes.
like a
Bowling shoes
clown
are
shoe.
notoriously like slim.
I don't know. That's just what it makes me think of, and I just thought I'd share.
They're super soft leather.
Yeah, they were
Like,
super.
you know,
cool.
the-
Hand stitch.
You know that. So if you ever go to Build-A-Bear,
People.
they have little shoes that you can get on your little Build-A-Bear, and they're like circle things. It's basically like that, but for people.
That's even
They're
better.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're really
you want
awesome.
some?
I'm okay.
You
Thank
kind
you.
of
I've
want
got
some,
plenty of
don't you?
shoes.
Yeah.
You've got your one pair, your
Yeah.
brand new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And you got me some Mary Janes of those same ones.
Yeah.
And they're very cute.
Yeah.
I haven't
And you
seen-
can get them custom. You can get any color you want. And,
I'll show
Yeah.
them to you.
yeah. And then you can put them on your teddy bear, apparently.
Or your man feet.
Yep. Yep. Not big difference between those two.
You're both furry.
Okay, your turn.
Bloodstones are my favorite.
Yeah.
Ever since I got my Bloodstone boots, that's almost all I wear. I love them so much. They look good with dresses, with jeans, with pants, with pajamas, anything.
Just like
They're
my
the
soft
best.
star
I can wear
shoes.
them camping. I can wear them hiking if I wanted. I can wear them to school. If it's snowy out, I can wear them. If it's rainy out, I can wear them. I love my Bloodstone boots. And I think I might have stolen that from Anna. Are you going to say the same
No.
shoe?
No,
You have a different shoe.
I have a different shoe.
But you like your Bloodstones
I do love
too,
my
right?
Bloodstones. See, and why I love my Bloodstones is because when I wear my Bloodstones, it's because I'm not wearing my Chacos, which is my answer. Because I wear my Chacos anytime I can. They're awesome. And they've gotten me through a lot. I've gone on surprisingly long hikes with them, just fine. I've happened to run to a parking lot about 2 miles to pick up a bus. I did okay. So
Wow.
I love my Chacos. They're very reliable.
And you got new Chacos this summer.
I got new Chacos this summer. Because my other ones lasted like 7 years.
Yeah.
No, it's something.
Yeah.
I love my
and they're
Chacos, too.
So
Yeah,
comfy.
I love my Chacos too.
Chacos
You don't
are
really
great.
like them as much, do you?
I don't. I liked them for a while, and now I like my lighter
I love them.
Oh.
You like your Chacos.
X. No, but they're
Oh,
similar.
you have the like
There's-
zero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
zero sandal.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're lighter.
Yeah, other people like those.
Yeah.
No, I'm a real Chaco fan.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of diversity in those answers. Good
Yeah,
job,
that's good.
family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Anna, you're the next. It seemed like you got to go first just recently, but
Yeah,
of course
it did.
that's how it works.
That's how
So-
circles go.
The next category is the most notable thing you read this year.
Oh, see, this was the hardest thing for me. And I was going to narrow it down based on what other people said. But I'm going to go with Louise Erdrich's new book, The Sentence, which was really, really good. I read it this summer. And it was one of the first pandemic books that I'd read, like books about 2020 and written post-pandemic and about the pandemic. And I thought it was really beautiful in the way that it combined creative nonfiction and fiction. I'd never read a book like it. And its reflections on the past few years were incredible. Yeah, I loved reading it.
This is
I'll
the
read
one
it again.
she owns a bookstore and it's haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but it feels like a memoir.
Well, it's her bookstore. It's Louise
right.
Erdrich's
It's her
bookstore.
Birchbark Books.
Yeah.
And she has book recommendations in it that are like real books.
Uh-huh.
But-
And her name's Louise. There's really interesting things happening in that book.
But then it's also
With-
kind of fantastical.
Yeah. And
There's
and I don't know, and I thought it dealt with race in a really, really poignant way.
That's right.
Ways that hadn't been written, or I haven't had access to, or cared to have access to yet. So I don't know. I thought it was really good, and I would recommend it to anyone. And I'd like to reread it.
Yeah, I love that book.
Yeah.
Read.
So this is an end of year one because I've been reading Stephen King's new book Fairy Tale. I got it for Christmas, and it's just I haven't been able to read like fiction-y books while I'm in school as much because I have a lot of other reading for history and criminal justice stuff. So a lot of kind of dense fiction, nonfiction to get through. And so it's just been really fun to just read a fiction-y book again. And it's also a really good story. And now I want a German Shepherd. So that's my conclusion.
Okay.
Well, I wanted a German Shepherd before, but I love this particular German Shepherd that's in this book.
How far into it are you? Because you've been
I'm
reading
almost
it.
200 pages.
Okay.
Well,
Fun. I hope you have a chance to continue reading it.
I hope
Now
it
that
ends
we're
well.
back to school.
I hope it
Lucky.
continues being good.
yeah.
Mine it was toss up, but I think Mom's gonna say the other one. I think House of Sky by Ivan Doig. And you introduced me to Ivan Doig, and I've read a few things of his, but I think House of Sky, his memoir, and it's about being in Montana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For a second I was like worried it was Wyoming, but Montana, and it's a very cool just a description, the way he describes land and living there and being a part of the land and kind of his story, and then reading some of his fiction, it all ties together. You can see where his fiction comes from. But that was a really great new to me author to be introduced to. So
I'm excited to read that.
yeah,
Yeah, he's great.
I can
Yeah.
imagine that will give you a whole other sense of place in your
Yeah.
place.
There's a whole Ivan Doig section in the local Bozeman bookstore.
Of course, yeah.
So I didn't get anything because it feels ridiculous to buy yourself things before Christmas. But now I'm going to go there and get
Yeah.
some Ivan Doig.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think that would be good to come home to read
Yeah.
that.
And we can lend you, like, we have some of the
Oh,
fiction books and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Anyway, it seems weird to whisper
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite book was definitely Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr
That was my other
Yeah.
this year. I love Anthony Doerr anyway. Like I had loved All the Light We Cannot See.
Mm-hmm.
That came out quite a few years ago. But I read Cloud Cuckoo Land initially when I was home sick with what I think was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a big chunk of time and I was able to read it through in just a few days and was so enamored with how beautifully it was written that I was actually distracted by just the mechanics of how he was putting together language and the story itself, that when I finished it, I immediately started it over again and read it again. And I very rarely do that. I've only ever done that with Olive Kittredge, that book years ago. But it just felt like such a luxury to be able to do that. And I just love that book. I love the 3 different storylines that take place at totally different times in history or the future, and the way the folios, which there's kind of this folio that runs throughout the entire story. And at the beginning, this is another reason I had to start over again, because at the beginning, when first time I was reading it, I was like, I don't understand what's going on with these folios, and I just kind of skipped them.
Yeah, I did
And
that.
then like midway through the book, I'm like, oh, they're important. Okay, so then when I reread it, then I could actually focus on it. But anyway, this folio that's kind of pieces of writing that happened in the 1400s. But this folio is what ties all 3 stories together, and these characters and how they overlap with this writing. It was just beautiful. I love that book. And it was written during COVID. Anthony Doerr wrote it when he was in lockdown, and I thought that was really interesting because you could pick up pieces of
Especially that future.
Yeah.
like that resonated with all the experience that we all had in lockdown. And the way he told a story from that point of view, even though it wasn't about COVID.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see how COVID is impacting art and literature in so many different ways. And that book, did it really neatly. And the sentence.
And the sentence,
And I read those kind of back to back. Or no, I didn't. They were months apart. But it felt they were months.
Which one did you read first?
Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I read that just after you did.
Okay.
And I read the sentence this summer.
Okay. I read the sentence this summer too. I think you read it before me though.
Yeah.
Fairy tale is what Stephen King said he was writing. So he wrote it during COVID.
Oh, handy.
And he said he was just wanting to write a book that he really wanted to read, and so he just started writing the story he wanted to read himself. So it was his own thing.
That's cool.
It also has a really endearing father-son relationship that I think you'd
Aw.
like that.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah,
scary?
I'm interested.
Not yet,
Okay.
but I also don't think things are as scary as you do.
It's not, but also fairy tale, it's like in reading about it when I was shopping for it, like it's not considered horror. Like it's more of a fantasy. Like it's a little different than his other novels.
But he's got novels like that too.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's not like I haven't read it, but what you guys have said about it, where it starts off as this lilting, sweet story and then becomes horror. I
Yeah.
hope fairy tale. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. If it does that, I don't want to read it.
Well, in like all of the Stephen King's books I've read, they kind of start off with like a storyline of like a very like realistic fiction kind of thing, and so then it makes when like the fantastical things or the horrific things happen like that much more.
Scary.
Yeah, or just I don't know. So like it starts off with the main character like dealing with his mother dying at a very young age, and like his father then having alcoholism from that, and then the main character like dealing with.
It's like Better Call Saul. It like sucks you in.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Like, oh, I like these people.
Oh, I really want them to be okay.
House of Sky has a nice father-son relationship.
Oh.
Well, kind of. I mean, yeah. That's what it's largely about.
Cloud Cuckoo Land is not.
What's that?
No, there is a. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read? So that made me. I wanted to ask. Have you? You haven't read the other Anthony Doerr book,
No.
that Mom just brought up.
All the light we cannot
All the
see.
light we cannot see.
I started it in like 10th grade, and I didn't.
I think
I
you'd
didn't
really
like
like it.
it.
Yeah, just thinking of the historical.
I think
pieces.
I got annoyed with something about it, and I don't remember exactly what it was.
Well,
But
there's a lot of World War II books.
And I think
and
you would love it.
Yeah. And so that's why I was hesitant to read that one, but it's good.
Okay,
whose turn is it?
Mom's.
Mom.
No.
we just finished that
Uh-huh.
memorable
Yeah.
thing you read. Okay, last formal category is memorable event or outing of 2022. I admit this would be easier if you went last.
I know.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Well, there are a lot. Like, this felt like a big year. I mean, certainly Anna's graduation I have written down as being pretty darn memorable
Mhm.
in all the ways. But also, like, maybe even when I just think of it more as an outing versus event, was our trip to the Oregon coast with our trailer and our dog.
Uh-huh.
And you mentioned Nina running on the beach, which is one of the more joyful sights you ever could see. And then, like, yeah, it was such a pretty trip.
Yeah.
And we, were listening to Martin, and we were listening to David Sedaris, and that was really good. And it was fun to spend time with you.
Yep.
And then, like, driving up the Umpqua, which we had never done.
The North Fork of the
That
Umpqua.
was gorgeous.
Yep.
And then we thought we were going to we had delusions or ideas of going to Crater Lake. We didn't quite make it that far, but we camped at Diamond Lake.
Yeah. Well, we planned. Well, yeah.
That was
We had a reservation there.
Yeah.
Instead of Crater Lake.
That was just beautiful there.
Yep.
And it was just really fun. I love doing stuff like that.
That's on my list too, but I'm gonna think of something else. Okay, Anna. Anything happened this year?
Yeah, quite a bit. I graduated college. That was pretty significant. But I think I climbed a lot of Tetons, and that was pretty significant. But I think what I would like to solidify as my final answer, those two being cop-out answers, because I got to say them anyway, is going backpacking in Grand Gulch and Cedar Mesa in Bears Ear, southern Utah, with two of my very best friends, Cassie and Iris, and Sam, also very best friends and special
And
guy.
special friend.
And getting to do that after being during being really frustrated with writing my thesis and not quite knowing what it was about, and that trip really solidifying that what happened to be the bulk of my thesis after that, and then feeling like an adult, and that being a really transitional stage of life, because Dad got to come down with us for the first day and help us set up a shuttle, and then he left, and that was really, really scary. But we still filtered water and navigated, and it was really poignant and a really, really cool area to be able to spend a weekend and a spring break in with really cool people.
Who had never backpacked before? Like,
Yeah, it was my first big outing without Dad, and then the rest of them like first big like multi-night trip.
and you planned and led it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just stumbling upon broken pottery shards and ancient ruins and doing yoga kind of on a cliffside with those. It was a good trip.
I like how pottery shards and ruins and yoga are all in the same list.
Well, there's really cool pictures of
Yeah.
Yeah.
really, really old things, and then us just being like not disrespectful, but also like dorks and 22-year-olds with near them, and so it was good. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't really do much outings. But everyone's kind of mentioned Anna's graduation, which, I don't know, thinking about it, like, one of my favorite memories was, like, Anna came down to my college to pick me up, like, the weekend before your graduation, and, like, just being able to drive out with my sister, like, and you were anxious because, like, there was more shutdown stuff happening, and
That's right.
there was just a lot going on with, like, people getting sick. But then, like, we listened to Lizzo, and
Yeah.
on, like, that drive, and I just like driving with you, and like, that drive is really pretty.
I love you, Reed.
I love you too.
Love more emotions on this
Not a
podcast.
podcast with feelings.
No, I just state things that happened. You're not supposed to.
Right.
Feel.
It was nice.
Yeah, but that was fun. Your graduation was cool too, but that part, like, the lead up to it was.
There's the stuff around it that made that week
Yeah.
really cool.
Because how long were you guys? How long were you together before we showed up for the
3 days?
I
graduation?
think it was like a day or two before.
Oh,
It was a couple of days. You got to come to trivia with me.
Mhm.
And
Like, I think you came out like that Thursday, and Mom and Dad came Friday night or Saturday
I
morning.
think Saturday.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That
This
was
goes
longer.
longer.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Mm.
It was definitely Thursday though. You're right, because that's trivia night.
Yeah.
And you came to trivia.
And
we
we
made
were-
it. We made it for trivia.
We were like, that was the kind of timeline was like, okay, we get to Walla Walla at 7:00. We go to trivia,
Mm-hmm.
and we got there at like 7:10.
oh my
We like
gosh.
rolled into trivia.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Good.
the highlight of the year.
What about you?
I think I will unapologetically just repeat, because these were the things that I had written down, or the things you've already mentioned. The Anna's graduation at Whitman was just it was just really fun.
Mhm.
And so with the graduation, and then people getting together, and like just seeing your friends in the house and all those.
It's really nice.
It's so you're all looking at me expecting me to cry. And I'm not. I'm
I
not.
love you too, Dad.
So anyway,
We
so that
don't
was
have
just,
emotions on this podcast. He's
Yeah.
not crying.
that was just a really fun weekend, or extended a few days, and then the Grand Gulch. I had listed that as just me being able to go down and help with that, and I had a great time just on that one day. But also, like, seeing you just kind of take charge of the rest of the trip. Like, I was watching your satellite beacon and seeing the spots that you were at, and then I would like text my friend John and say, "Oh, so now she's at the Green Mask campsite."
Oh,
Like,
that was
remember that
good.
spot? And so that was fun, and then the trip through Oregon, up and down the coast, and through up the Umpqua, and then there was the trip since then to see Reed at Pacific. Well, we were back a couple times, but going back and going up the Tillamook Forest and looking at
Yeah.
campsites for future trips. Like, I think those have like gelled together for me, because when we've done that trip now, we're already planning the trips that we get to do again, and then going out to see Reed. When was it? It was November,
October, I think.
October.
Yeah.
But that kind of reinstigated the ideas of going back and doing that trip or similar trips again.
Yeah.
So all of those put together.
I think it'd be cool if you guys came up with your trailer and Nina. Because
Yeah.
all my friends want to meet Nina.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I mean, they like you guys too. But
Well, and I'm trying to figure out how that would work or when that would work. But I think a camping trip in that direction, easier if you're there this summer. You
Yeah.
sneeze.
Yeah.
I had a tickle in my nose.
Caught it. Good job.
I'm really excited you guys have that trailer.
We love that thing.
Yeah, that makes me really happy.
It's really fun.
I've already started looking at when I can book other campsites. Like we can book the Uintas 4 months in advance. We can book the Oregon Coast and Redwoods 6 months in advance. So we have to start.
Yeah, we're getting
I've started
close to
lining
that.
stuff
Okay.
up when I can do that.
Oh.
Anyway, so the next, the category of, it's kind of an appendix, is just a wild card category in case there is a best or notable thing of 2022 to add. And I will just say the thing I'll add is just the number of games and game kind of environment that we've got now with like Seven Wonders most recently. We finally learned how to play Duel. And take that with us. And Hive was really good. That was a great discovery. El Dorado is a super great discovery and a wingspan. So
Like we've always
Games.
played some games. I think Anna always wanted to play more games growing up. I mean, I don't even think. I know you wanted to play. But now I feel like I don't know if it's just because we're all older, but I don't know, we have a good number of games that are really fun to play.
and I got a really great cribbage board. Did you get that for me?
That was your
For my
birthday.
birthday? Yeah.
Because it was at Anna's graduation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I gave it to you.
Yeah. So just all the games was a highlight of 2022.
It's a good wild card.
Yeah. French 75s. That's been a highlight of
That's a
2022.
good, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a drink that was new to me that I quite like.
Yeah. Noticed.
It's very good.
It's really.
We had that for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I did not.
2 parts gin, 1 part lemon juice, 1 part simple syrup.
And
Topped,
Prosecco.
topped with Prosecco after it's been shaken over ice.
It's so
Real good.
Really, really good.
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it. We don't want dead air.
Okay. Well, I came into 2022 newly healing from top surgery, and that was really fun. And I got to do.
You know how to have a good time.
I was a T-Rex for a while, and then
A
a
stegosaurus.
stegosaurus. That'd be cute.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome tail.
And then, so that's been fun to be experiencing all of 2022 without that stuff. And then almost 6 months ago, I got my name legally changed. So, yeah. So 2022 has been good to me in that regards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's over. So,
So what's yet to come?
You get to carry those with you. I'm glad of course you remembered that. I'm glad you noted that. So the kind of things I was I don't know what would come up on a wild card, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly the kind of thing we should capture. That court date, as Anna's thinking, that court date that was a particularly memorable day.
That was stressful. Well, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, so it was initially supposed to be the month before my birthday, like right when I got home from school, and then someone in the legal system filed it in the wrong county. It wasn't my fault, but then they had to get me another court date, and so it ended up being on my 20th birthday, and that was just crazy.
Yeah.
And you
Um,
recorded a podcast that day, didn't you?
I think so.
Did we?
Joe, keep your mind like. Yeah, I think
so.
you
I
did.
think we did.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite episodes. I
Not.
think.
No. Yeah, that was the second most memorable thing of that day. By a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that sitting at this very table and you sitting in the middle of, it was a Zoom court appearance and it just happening in such a very non-controversial way, which we love that judge for making
Yeah,
it.
what was her name?
Yeah.
I think we can.
Valencia.
Yeah,
Jennifer
Jennifer Valencia.
Valencia.
She comes up for re-election, Weber County residents?
She was very nice
Yes.
and just said that I seemed like a nice young man,
Aw.
and then just said that she was happy I had a supportive family, and said basically goodbye.
Yeah, that was just done.
Quick,
And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you burst into tears
When I
when you
logged off.
Yeah.
Well,
Really
it's just
emotional.
a big relief,
Yeah.
and like, hi Nina. Going into it, I thought like there was a potential that the judge was going to ask me a lot of questions, which my lawyer had already like filed stuff, but they could still follow up on it. So it was just kind of that stuff of not knowing what they were going to ask me or if there was going to be fight back on it. But then they were like, easy peasy, I'm going to stamp this paper.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how they
Nice.
did it.
Yeah. And here we are. That's a good
That was a good thing.
That's a good event.
Did you think of anything, Anna?
We can end there if you
Yeah.
don't have
I learned to
anything.
swing dance. That's what I thought of.
That's
Mm.
pretty fun.
That was pretty fun.
With your
Yeah.
special friend.
My special friend and my very good friend Hannah, who deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah.
We love you too.
Hope Hannah is a new listener.
I know.
I had a great time going to meet you guys when you were climbing at City of Rocks.
Oh yeah, I got into climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all sorts of things that make your mama worry.
Yeah.
Which you don't tell. She doesn't tell you about until after they're done.
Thank goodness. Yeah, what was the climb that I didn't know about until I think you were doing it? Middle Teton?
I think middle. Yeah. I think I just told Dad,
Yeah.
and then I think
I
he
was
found
gonna
out.
say, I knew about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always know.
Yeah.
Well, those are pretty good. That's a pretty good wrap up of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being our guests on this podcast.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
First time we've had 2 guests. First time we've had live guests.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
And
yeah,
our first.
well,
review
in
of the
physical space.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Nina wants
What
to
do you think?
participate.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. We'll see if this is a hit and if we do this again.
Better be a hit.
We'll see. Okay. We'll sign off. Thanks,
Yeah.
Reed.
thanks, Dad.
Good luck at going off to back to school tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. And keep your feelings inside.
Thanks, you too.
I will.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.